Gosh, the raw diet can seem so complicated sometimes. This is something I actually said at one point, especially when I got my cat Tangy. I realized just how different cat diets were from dog diets, and I was unaware of a few important differences. To save you from the same trouble, I'm going to show you 5 things that you should never forget in your cat's raw meal. Let's use this meal as an example. This is something I would have fed Tangy back when I first started because he really likes poultry. In a meal like this, supplements would need to be added to meet a handful of important nutrients. How? To find out, we need to take a closer look at what's missing in this meal. The first is red meats. Cats in particular have high requirements for B vitamins, and a diet low in these vitamins will eventually cause weight loss, a poor coat, and lethargy. Red meats are super concentrated in B vitamins because of how much nutrient-dense myoglobin they contain. Since I don't want to increase the weight of Tangy's meal by adding in red meats on top of everything else, what I'm going to do is replace the ground turkey with beef steak, since the muscle meat portion is a key reason the B vitamins are low. Thankfully, Tangy loves red meat, so he's not complaining. Now, what if your cat's sensitive to red meats? Instead, you can meet these B vitamins by adding nutritional yeast powder to the meal. It has a cheesy flavor that cats love. The amino acid taurine is also an important nutrient for cats and critical for their long-term health. Even though red meats provide some taurine, it's often not enough. Luckily, the next food provides a ton of taurine, and that is heart or tongue. Well, that's a strange pair of body parts, but they actually have something in common. They're both quite high in taurine. Unlike dogs, cats cannot synthesize taurine in their body. This means that if the diet is low in taurine long term, they're going to start experiencing heart, eye, and immunity problems. Heart is a muscular organ and is part of the muscle meat category, so I'm going to remove a little bit of the chicken thigh to make room for the heart. There, no eye problems for you, Tangy. Now, iron is found in red meats, and it's also pretty high in heart. But can you believe that this meal is still too low in iron? This is where the third food, spleen or tripe, comes in. Cats have a very high requirement for iron, so much so that your typical meal of meat, bone, and organ may not meet the requirement. Without enough iron, cats will become lethargic and their coat will appear rough. Spleen is actually super concentrated in this mineral, so it's a great second secreting organ option for cats. Green tripe, which is a muscular organ, is also very high in iron, as well as the mineral manganese. So what I'm going to do is remove a little more of the chicken thigh and replace that with green tripe. If you can't find these foods, an iron supplement may be needed. Okay, this next one may surprise you. The fourth thing that's low in this meal is moisture. Now, this might seem strange considering the raw diet is around 75% water already, but there's a chance your cat still isn't getting the hydration that they need, especially if they choose not to drink from water bowls. Per a few veterinary sources, cats should drink around 50 milliliters per kilogram of body weight. Tangy is 4.5 kilograms, so he needs about 225 milliliters of water daily. With the amount of food that he eats and the water that it provides, he would still need around 140 milliliters of water daily. Now, I don't go crazy over meeting this exactly, but I do still add moisture to his meals just for that extra boost, using things like bone broth, kefir, myoglobin, or just plain water. If he doesn't drink at all, he's obviously hydrated and he doesn't need any more. So in this meal, I'll just add a bit of water. Now, just by looking at the first meal I made, would you know what nutrients are low? I certainly didn't until I looked at what nutrients were essential in a cat's diet. I actually list each and every one of them in my free raw feeding cheat sheet for cats and kittens. So if you want to make sure you're adding the correct foods to balance, check the link in the description.